And hello, and welcome to the Hogs Happy Hour on this glorious Thursday. I'm your host, Blake, and I'm joined by Jason. You can't see him right now, but he is with us. And Ashton is on assignment tonight, so he will not be with us. But he'll probably chime in on the comments if he's available. So, Jason, how's it going?
Well, it's going good so far. Excited for regional play to start tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, weather permitting.
Yes. Speaking of weather, it's the wind. You ever been to Southeast Arkansas? The wind blows a certain direction, then the internet may go out, and that's what I'm hoping doesn't happen. So if the internet goes out, it's because of the storms that will be rolling in here soon. But on Memorial Day, the brackets were announced, and Arkansas is the number 5 seed in the NCAA tournament. We're hosting regional, and if we get through regional, we will host the super regional. Now, some people, some people online are ranking this as the least competitive regional. So with that, I thank the selection committee for giving us such a great regional, and the regional we're paired up with is kind of weak as well. So Razorbacks got kind of lucky this go round. There's not a red hot TCU team that will be coming to Fayetteville like last year, and we did not get paired up with LSU as well, which I was very fearful for because LSU is a very hot team right now. So tomorrow, Dave Van Horn he chose to play the first game against SEMO, which is Southeast Missouri. We play it. It's supposed to play at 2 o'clock, like Jason said, weather permitting. It may get pushed back, and it is only on ESPN Plus. So if you're not subscribed to ESPN Plus, you can always download the Razorback app and listen to Phil and Bubba, which is probably what I will end up doing. I mean, I'll probably watch it, but I will mute it and listen to Phil and Bubba because it's always more entertaining and more insightful than what the commentators have. So,
Well,
Jason, what's your thoughts on this?
first off, don't forget ESPN Plus. You may have a free trial, so now would be the time to try it out.
Yeah, they do offer, I think, what, 7 day free trial or three
Yeah.
day or 5 day or. But if you're subscribed to Disney Plus, you if you picked a certain part of Disney Plus, you should be able to watch it. And I think if you're subscribed to Hulu as well, I mean, there's many ways you may already have it and you just don't know it. So, so what you think about our little regional bracket?
uh, I mean, like you pointed out earlier, I mean, you know, they're saying it's probably one of the least competitive brackets, which, as a Razorback fan at this point in the season, I'm happy. Just, I mean, we're on a three-game losing streak right now. We've lost one of our pitchers, another one of our
Yeah,
pitchers.
yeah,
Um, the toughest competition that I see in this bracket for us would be Louisiana Tech.
yeah.
Um, but we should hopefully take care of business. Hopefully, we can get Diggs back to hitting again.
Yeah,
It's going to be interesting to see which pitcher he starts with tomorrow. He
yeah,
hasn't announced it yet. It's going to be interesting to see who he starts out with.
yeah,
Uh, you know, do you save Molina for like game three,
yeah.
or do you just go ahead and start him out in game one?
Yeah. Only thing we do know, like you said, is Tiger is not available this weekend. He's not on the regional roster. Uh, they said Van Horn should announce a starter later tonight. So I'm pretty sure he's looking up matchups, and it may end up being Johnny Holstaff who ends up pitching, which just means you change pitchers every 2 or 3 innings. I you have to win. You have to win tomorrow. Like you can't go into the losers bracket. You have to win tomorrow, but you cannot start Hagen either. I mean, because it's game one. You want to save him for what's supposed to be better competition later in the regional. So my guess is I would start either Gage Wood or Molina. I'm not real sure who. I mean, I'm leaning towards starting Molina, just because he has a little bit more experience. Now, no pitcher outside of Hagan has been uh, dominant. So, and with Semo has hit 100 home runs this year. So you don't want to put a guy up there who's going to just hang curveballs and they're just going to tee off on him because, as we know, Arkansas does not really. I mean, there's a few games we've come back in, but once we get behind, we don't really seem to get ahead. So SEMO, just going over some stats on them. They are 34 and 25. Finished 18-9 in the Ohio Valley Conference. They won the Ohio Valley Conference Championship. They have an ERA of 5.6. Like I said, they have hit 100 home runs. So their pitching is not great. So maybe that will be the spark the Hogs need to continue, hopefully hitting the ball better. So
Well, I mean, their pitching may not be okay, but our hitting is just about as bad right now.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And I think I saw a stat that Arkansas has the worst uh, batting percentage going into the regional out of any team, out of not just our regional, out of any team that made uh, the brackets.
if you listen to Van Horn today, he basically said that they've had a really good week of practice. He said it today was a little bit more laid back, but they've been focused in all week. Uh, that may just be coach talk, but I hope these guys are focused in for this series.
Yeah. So obviously you have to win game one. You don't want to go into the loser's bracket for game two. Um, so let's talk about these other. I mean, because we're not just playing SEMO. Like we are for sure playing SEMO, but we will play someone else that is in the bracket. So let's talk about the 2 seed, the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. I will say something about this regional. It is a true regional. The teams are pretty close to Arkansas, so it should be a large crowd for all the teams there. Louisiana Tech has a former Razorback on it, Ethan Bates. He said he has a chip on his shoulder going into Fayetteville. So hopefully he doesn't do too much damage to us. Um, Louisiana Tech, looking at their stats, just kind of looking at common opponents, they don't really have any weakness in them. So that's the team that scares me the most is Louisiana Tech because they're a very consistent ball club. They finished 45-17 on the year, 18-6 in Conference USA, a team ERA of 4.96, on base percentage of .395. They have Cole McConnell. He leads the whole conference with a 380 batting average. He hit 18 home runs and 71 RBI. So between him and Ethan Bates, Ethan Bates, he pitches and he plays in the field as well. So he's kind of a Swiss Army knife, so to speak, with Louisiana Tech. So and then the 3 seed is the Kansas State Wildcats out of the Big 12. They finished 15-15 in the Big 12, had a record of 32-24, team ERA of 5.42, on base percentage of .377. So Kansas State will go against Louisiana Tech in the first game. So out of those two, I do not want to see Louisiana Tech. So we'll be rooting for a Kansas State victory. Whatever that weird dance is, they do at Kansas State.
Oh yeah, I forgot what that is called. I know what
Yeah,
you're talking about. As many times we've had to play them in football.
yeah. But I'm gonna play a video from Kansas State's coach, just kind of talking about Fayetteville and the upcoming regional.
For what it's going to be like, or is it just like any other Big 12 road trip?
I wouldn't say that. I would. It is one of the best venues in college baseball with a rabid fan base, but these guys have played in those venues before in that atmosphere. Arkansas certainly is at the top of the list. I think our guys will embrace it. You know, it's believe me, it's not a field trip mentality. I can promise you that. These guys play in the Big 12, and some of the toughest places to play in the country are in our league. You know, whether it's in Stillwater or whether it's in Lubbock. I mean, those are really, really difficult places to play. West Virginia is an uncomfortable place to play. So we've been there. Our guys know that. They just got to keep their adrenaline in check and use it to their advantage. But I've never been to Fayetteville. I've never been to this park, so I'm looking forward to it. You know, and I do know it's one of the tops in the countries, and in the country, and I know they're top attendance in the country every year, and that's what college baseball is all about.
So he was giving props to to Fayetteville, to the fans, because he talked about the attendance and talked about all the good things that is with Baum Walker. It's one of the top 5 venues in America. But he was talking about Oklahoma State. Remember, was it a couple years ago? Arkansas had to go to Oklahoma State, and it was a very good environment, very rowdy. Can kind of compare it to Mississippi State a little bit, but Baum Walker is a different animal in the regionals and super regionals.
Oh yeah, I mean you're having 11,000 plus fans every Razorback game during regional times, and you know that Hawk Pen, they're going to be rowdy out there.
Yeah, I think they were lining up Sunday night when Arkansas was announced as a regional host. I think they started lining up. So
He did give props to Baum Walker, but I think he may be underestimating the fan base here a little bit though.
yeah, and especially if we do play Kansas State, if everything goes to plan, we will be playing them at night. Baum Walker at night is a different animal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I've experienced it. Jason's experienced it. I'm sure people out there listening, you've experienced it. It's something. If you haven't gone to Baum Walker in a regional at night, you need to.
Well, I mean, we did get you to come up there one regional game at night.
Yeah, for about 3 innings. It was such a weather delay that I was able to drive up. All right, so I'm gonna answer this question first, and then I'll get your response. So, Arkansas wins the regional if Kendall Diggs hits a home run, or Kendall Diggs hits about above 300. Okay, if Kendall Diggs gets out of a slump, I think Arkansas wins the regional. Arkansas has the better pitching out of all the teams that are in this regional by far. Our pitching is far superior, and when you get to this time of year, pitching is what you need. All right, now our bats need to wake up, because we got to score some runs somehow, some way. But I think Arkansas wins the regional if Kendall Diggs breaks out of his slump. So, Jason, Arkansas wins the regional if what?
I do agree with you. They do win if Kendall Diggs does snap out of his drought. But I think our main key is we can't just rely on one player to hit. We need multiple people to hit. We can't be leaving players on base like we have been.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this is also going to come down to pitching. I mean, we constantly hear that this is the best pitching that Van Horn's ever had. Well, I mean, now's the time to show that. Now's the time to prove that. With all these injuries we've had at pitching, it's time to see some of these players step up.
Yep.
We're going to, everybody's going to play as a team right now.
Yeah. It's not right now. It's not about who is the best. Who's the best team. It's basically who is the hottest team. And right now, Arkansas is not very hot. So we'll flip it. Arkansas loses the regional if I'm going to say Arkansas loses the regional if our bats don't wake up for one, and if every other pitcher, we know Hagen Smith is going to be on, but if our pitching cannot get it together, SEMO will come in and they will hit a couple home runs, and we'll be down 3-0, 4-0. And then game 2, we're relying on Hagan, and our bats have not been hot. So we lose the regional if our bats are not hitting the ball.
Yeah, I mean, we cannot afford to lose this first game, nor can we afford to get down quickly in this first game. Like I said, we're on a 3-game losing streak right now. That's the longest of the entire season. So if we get down quick, I mean, that morale is basically going to be shot.
Yeah.
I don't see us coming back. I don't see us coming back if we get down, 3-0 or 4-0 quickly.
Yeah, we're not really a come from behind team. We've done it before against Texas Tech and some other ACC teams, but that's not how we win the majority of our ball games. Just some interesting notes about this regional. SEMO's head coach played under Van Horn at Nebraska, so if you go watch his press conference, he's very appreciative of Van Horn and everything he's done for him in his life. So sure be a weird feeling playing against your old college coach, but when you're in it as long as Van Horn has been in it, that's bound to happen. All right, so we're going to check in on our friends over at Kentucky Sports Radio, I think for the last time this season. Let's check in on them.
We won't get none of the recruits will be here. None of the players currently on the team. I think between me and you, there was only like 2 currently on the team that even had a shot to come back anyway. I think DJ Wagner might have come back, and I think Z might have come back. The rest of them, I think, were gone.
Do you assume that they're all going to follow him to Arkansas also?
No, I think some of them will, but I think some of them might not. I mean, I think, you got to want to live in Arkansas.
So the reason we play that is DJ, the guy he mentioned Z and DJ Wagner think they would stay. Have, DJ Wagner just finally committed to Arkansas. So that's another former Kentucky player who wants to live in Arkansas. Matt Jones at Kentucky Sports Radio.
That whole comment about wanting to live in Arkansas, he's acting like they're going to move here permanently.
No.
They're most likely going to be here for 1 year only and move on.
Yeah, they're going to take, I'm a teacher, but they're going to take the easiest classes they can.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to get some very good NIL money, live in a beautiful part of the state, and get coached by one of the greatest coaches ever, and move on to NBA or overseas or wherever that might be.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the ultimate goal for these players is to play in the NBA. Well, who has put a lot of players in the NBA? Coach Cal.
Yep.
Coach Cal's put a lot of players in the NBA for Kentucky. Kentucky itself
Yeah, I forgot what parent. It was a parent of a recruit, but basically said that the factory was just moved from Kentucky to Arkansas. It wasn't the Kentucky brand. It was Coach Cal. So he's basically moved his factory from Kentucky to Arkansas. So that was a good way to put it. And also people who said that Coach Cal cannot operate the transfer portal. Well, he's picked up a lot of guys in the transfer portal. Now, he did say they'll probably get one more, and that'll be it. So he wants to top it off at maybe 9 players, and then add in what he called walk-ons. This was an interesting comment by him. Walk-ons that have to earn the NIL money, basically. Like, they'll be on scholarship, but I don't know. He kind of worded it kind of strange, but so we basically have our core team. We're just going to add some backup players.
Yeah, I mean, but those backup players are going to be important, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, he's got 8 really great players, but the season takes a toll on yourself. There's going to be injuries. There's going to be foul trouble during games. I would have been more comfortable with 9 or 10 players, but I mean, if Coach Kyle thinks 8 is enough, I trust him.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to the old Dick Saban quote of, "If you want to make everyone happy, you need to go sell ice cream." Because there's only so much playing time you can get. If you got 10 studs out there, someone's not going to be happy, and they're going to transfer out anyways because they're not getting playing time. So this might be the new norm with college basketball. Is just get 8 or 9 like 5 stars or really good players, and then bring in some developmental guys to fill out the roster.
Yeah, I mean, but there. I mean, we need some filler players. I mean,
Yeah.
there's going to be some games where somebody's going to be in foul trouble,
Yeah.
or in a
Oh yeah.
case of Arkansas's luck, somebody's going to get injured. We've always seen
Yeah.
them be injury prone for some reason.
So, just some scheduling news was announced that Arkansas will play Michigan in the Jimmy V Classic at Madison Square Garden. So that'll be big time playing in the
Yeah,
Mecca.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, and then it was announced that I think we will play a game. We obviously play a game in Little Rock, and something about playing a game in Dallas. So you got Little Rock, Fayetteville, Dallas, and Madison Square Garden to catch the
Now,
Hogs play.
how much of that scheduling do you think comes from Yurichik or Coach Cal wanting to play in those areas?
I think it's Coach Cal, and also I don't think you get into the Jimmy V Classic if Coach Muss is your coach either. I don't. I don't know. I just think Coach Cal wants to travel with his team to those various spots in the non-conference, kind of show them off. And Cal, he's got friends all over the place. So he kind of wants to, he's proud of his teams and he wants to show them off. But yeah, that's all basketball. They had the what I guess they're called summer meetings or something down in Florida this week.
Yeah, I've seen them like find bombs. Like they've been out there on the beach doing shows.
Yeah, yeah. So
But now Brazil,
yeah,
rumored is that he's taking summer classes right now at U of A. So maybe
yeah,
interesting to see what would happen with him.
yeah. He may end up being the lone returning player. He went through the combine and all the evaluation for the NBA, and I guess he didn't get back what he liked, so he withdrew from the NBA draft to. I mean, he was in the portal, so technically he's back in the portal. But like you said, he is rumored, well, not rumored, I think it's confirmed that he has taken summer classes. Now, whether that's to finish his degree or we don't know, you know, we don't know. But it is something to watch out for. So, and then football news. It's kind of a slow time, but we do have the times for the first 3 weeks of the season. We've known about week 1. It's going to be on Thursday, August 29th on ESPNU at 6:30. And then week 2, September 7th, at Oklahoma State is at 11 o'clock kickoff. And then week 3 is on SEC Network, September 14th at 3:15 versus UAB. So you got a night game, you got a morning game, and you got an afternoon game. So, I mean, I like it because it gets you used to those times to figure out how you're going to warm up and all those little things most people don't think about as a former coach. You have to have a schedule of kickers go out this time and this time and this time. So it's good that we get the first 3 weeks, we got a night game, morning game, and then an afternoon game.
But man, those morning games suck.
Especially on the road. The road teams
Yeah.
don't do well. And that's the game of the season. Week 2. I mean, it is.
The good news for us is it's not like a terribly far place to travel for us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we do have that kind of going for us there. It's not like we're traveling across 3 or 4 states to get there.
Yeah. So I mean, there will be a lot of Arkansas red that will be mixed in with the orange there at Oklahoma State.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, that is the probably the most pivotal game of our
Well,
season.
and it was also announced that we will not play Mizzou on Black Friday. It will go back to Saturday. So,
I wonder what the reasoning behind that is.
well, they're not on CBS anymore.
Yeah.
So I think they just didn't have a time slot on Friday. ESPN didn't. So
You excited for ESPN and ABC to be having SEC
no,
football instead of CBS?
no. It was always
Hmm.
a tradition. Growing up, the 2:30 game was the game of the week in the SEC. It was Vern and Danielson giving all the insight. The production was just a little bit better than
Mm-hmm.
ESPN. The camera just looked better. The replays looked better. It's just, I mean, it was something because you watch the 11 o'clock game and that leads up to that 2:30 game. And Arkansas didn't play much on there, but the times we did, it was
Well, I mean,
at
I
least
think
a
every
tradition.
team was guaranteed at least one 2:30 game.
Yeah, yeah,
Ours actually happens to be the Mizzou game.
yeah. And speaking of ESPN, I was just thinking about this today. I mean, I'm not in charge of ESPN, but you know, with all these baseball games, I don't see why they couldn't do it like the NFL does, and it's like regional broadcast. So like the state of Arkansas, it would be on SEC Network or ESPN. It would be on regular cable, because honestly, the hardcore baseball fans are probably not cord cutters like the young generation is. So they can't watch it. And they don't want to pay. They don't want to sign up for a free trial to watch it. But
I
it's
know
just my opinion.
it's baseball in general has been that way.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately ESPN is really not focused on baseball at all anymore.
No. No.
Um, and I mean, it's definitely shown this. College baseball season. It's shown.
Yeah.
I mean, we've
Yeah.
been at least in the top 10 the entire season, and very rarely would our game ever be on just SEC Network.
Yeah. I think
It's
we're
a,
maybe
it,
three series. I think.
it's always been on their streaming services.
Yeah. Well, that's there's not much to talk. I mean, we didn't have baseball. We talked about baseball, the ACC tournament last week. I will say we mentioned that Phil said the radar gun was wrong, and Dave Van Horn confirmed it. He said the scoreboard radar gun was off by about 5 miles per hour. So the velocity issue with Hagen is nothing. So he said all the scouts there pretty much confirmed all that. They just couldn't get it fixed on the scoreboard. So that was good to hear. So now I fully expect Arkansas to win this weekend. Uh, Tomorrow is the most important game. So you gotta win the first one because you don't want to go into that losers bracket. So
Yeah, but
also, go ahead.
I said it will be interesting to see how these teams adjust to any sort of weather delays that we may end up having.
Yeah, regionals are used to weather delays.
Hmm.
Was it? I forgot what game it was. It went on to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So we're used to it. So hopefully these traveling teams are. Again, that's another advantage of playing at home. Your logistics are you know what they are. So it's not something you have to come up with. But we will be live after each game to give our thoughts. Ashton will be live. Now, Ashton, right after a game, if it goes wrong, he's really, really hot and mad. So it will be very interesting to see. Anything else, Jason, before we sign off here?
No, I don't have anything. Just excited for a regional play to start.
Yeah, it's finally here. That's what we talked about all year. So it's finally here. But again, if you're looking for tickets, use promo code 4-Star Sports on SeatGeek to receive $20 off your first order.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead and get them hog pen tickets. Go ahead and have a good old
Yeah.
time out there.
Yeah, I've seen people on Facebook selling them for $20. I mean, it's worth it's even though it's the whole. I mean, if you're there to watch the baseball game, it's gonna be kind of hard to watch it unless you're at the front. But it's a great experience.
I mean, you
No,
can't beat the atmosphere of it.
no, I mean for $20, shoot, yeah. But anyways, we will we hopefully see you tomorrow after the game. Hopefully we're saying happy thoughts and not banging the table. Why didn't we start Hagen Smith? So
Well, yeah. I mean, if it starts to go bad, you're going to see him come in quick.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right, well, we will see y'all tomorrow.